Welcome to Menopause Moguls podcast, the Elevation Talk series, with yours truly, Dr. Joyelle. I am Dr. Joyelle, the Menopause Mogul, board certified OBGYN and business coach for Black women 40 and over. And my mission is to educate, embolden, and empower Black women and other women of color in their journey through health and careers. This is a space for Black women and other women of color to share their compelling trials and tribulations in their health and or in their careers and businesses. This is where we recognize the humanity of Black women and show how Black women continue to elevate despite midlife challenges and changes. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Menopause Moguls. Oh, my throat. Excuse me. Sorry, let's take a sip of water. My throat is a little raspy today. But I'm here. Welcome everyone. Just wanted to first just thank you. Thank you again for watching on YouTube. Thank you again for listening on whatever podcast app you're listening with. I appreciate you all as we are nearing the end of the year, the end of 2023. I want to just thank you for watching, listening, following, all the things. And I appreciate you. And I want to send you the warmest hug and the best wishes of prosperity and optimal health and wealth in 2024. So today I wanted to talk about how midlife-ish is seasonal. It's seasonal. And when you look up the word seasonal means fluctuating or restricting according to the season or time of the year. And I was thinking about a time of myself building and working in my business. I believe this was in 2021. And forgive me if, my time may be off, but, y'all know how that is. But anyway, I was thinking back to that time and how there was a time where I had plans on working on certain things in my business it was a new year that was actually approaching. So I guess it was 2020 going into 2021 maybe, or 2021 to 22. Y'all, I don't know. Just, it was a couple years ago. So I had these plans, right? I was end of the year, had these plans of working in my business. And I got a COVID booster and it was down for 2.5 days. And if y'all been following me and listening to my podcast, y'all know me and COVID don't get along, whether it's a booster, whether it's actual COVID. So there's that. But got my booster, was down for 2.5 days. My sister, her son, and my parents got COVID. I was looking forward to the kids going back to school so I can get back on track with tasks that I want to do within my business. I was also excited about the kids going back to school and going into aftercare because before that because I had this mommy guilt of, oh my gosh, I'm home, so I should be able to get the kids when they get out of school. Like, why should they go to aftercare? And my coach actually was like, why are you doing that? What are you doing? Because, school ends at 3. So like by the time I drop them off, get home, get myself settled, it's time for me to go back up there. So she was like, why don't you put them in aftercare? I'm like, I don't know, guilt and all this stuff. So I had to get coached through that. So I was excited that I was actually putting them in aftercare. And the kids have been asking me, can they go to aftercare? And I'm like, no, I'll just come get you guys, trying to be the perfect mom. But I was excited about putting them in aftercare so I could have more time to spend on working in my business. So at this time of year, like I said, I was looking forward to them going back so I can get more things done. So as we were approaching the time for them to go back, I got this email that was late from the kids' school. And it said things are going to be going virtual and the kids won't return until January 17th. And I'm like, really? January 17th? What happened to January 2nd? Like, what? So they were going to go virtual for 2 weeks. So I had to put my homeschooling teacher hat back on. Those of you who have been following me know that I homeschooled my kids during the pandemic for a year, which was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of growth for myself during that time. But I had to put my homeschooling hat back on, plan some lessons online. So I did that the night before. And then the next day, it was next day they were supposed to go back to school and start. And the power went out. So there was no internet. There was no online lessons that they could have done. So I had to make the best of it, right? Um, and as I was going through all that, I just adjusted. I just adapted to all of those situations as I was again trying to do things within my business, do tasks that I had planned to do. I had to shift, I had to adapt. And just thinking back even before that, how during my beginnings stages of perimenopause, how I just freak out about every little thing, things that didn't go my way. I would get easily frustrated, anger, even within my business. Things that I wanted to do didn't work out, didn't go as planned. I would get frustrated and angry. Um, so being able to now be in that season where I was actually able to adapt without the frustration, without the anger, without the annoyance, um, helped me to see the importance of laying down the foundation within myself, the relationship that I had with myself, in order for me to adjust with all the fluctuations of the day, of the week, as I am trying to do things in my business. So I'm not saying that I don't have moments where I can get a little bit more anxious. I can freak out a little bit, but it is not as intense. It is not as, it doesn't, it lasts for, a few minutes and I'm able to reset, right? Reset myself. Um, and or take the time, give myself space, give myself grace in order to continue to move forward to do the tasks that I need to do. Even with when I went through my perimenopause journey and was able to resolve most of my symptoms, there's still some, that peak, peak in and out. Um, Certain days. And again, without getting annoyed, without getting frustrated, I just adjust. I adapt to that whole situation. So when I just think about that time um, of the adjusting and how that happens, right? Well, we have to adjust and adapt most days, right? That is what this midlife is about. Adjusting to the fluctuations of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. And I talked about in other episodes, we have different seasons that we're going through. The growing season, the laboring season, the pushing season. And when we're going through all these different things, I know many of us, including myself, when we're going through it, we feel like we're out of control. We feel like the transitions, whether it's a menopausal transition, whether it's a transition into taking care of an aging parent, whether it's a transition in our careers, we feel like it's actually controlling our lives. And because of that, we're not able to start our business, work in our business, um, we allow the circumstances around us to control our response. And what I had to learn and what I coach my clients on is how to make my transition respond to me instead of me responding to it. In addition to changing my response to all of it, right? Instead of responding with frustration and anger and annoyance, responding with giving myself space to just take a break, take a breath, walk away, whatever that thing is, right? So changing my response and allowing my energy to be utilized more productively, because I realized when there was anger, the frustration, all of that was wasted energy, right? Like energy towards something that was not being productive for myself. So I had to shift my energy into where I can acknowledge that I'm actually getting frustrated or getting angry. It's not that it doesn't happen. Like it can still happen, right? But being able to change my response to it and ask myself questions. Okay, I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. What do I need right now? Do I need to walk away? Do I need to take a break from whatever I'm doing? Do I need to just go and take some deep breaths? Do I need to write down, journal out feelings? Do I need to just sit and feel whatever that thing is and then reset and get back into what I was doing? What do I need? And that allowed me to utilize my energy um, in a productive way so that I can do the things, do the tasks that I needed to do in order to make strides in my business. And this is the same type of thing that I coach my patients, my clients on, where, changing our response makes such a difference when we are going through things, whether it's internally or externally, right? All the things that are happening outside of us, changing our response to it makes a difference. Because if we respond with frustration and anger, um, and we sit in that, that actually intensifies our problem, in a way, especially when things are going on internally, mental changes, physical changes, emotional changes, whatever those things are, those can be intensified if we respond to whatever is going on repeatedly, with repeated negative energy, right? And sitting in that and just, sitting on the struggle bus and just sitting there and not being active to change, and being open to adapting and being open to being flexible, um, to the whole situation, right? And all of that, changing our response really goes back, is rooted into the relationship that we have with ourselves, right? If we build a relationship with ourselves that gives ourselves more compassion, give ourselves more grace, and also awareness, right? Being aware of what's going on in our bodies. Because there have been many of times, before I came to where I am now, um, you know, being angry, being frustrated, being sad. I didn't really acknowledge it. I just kind of pushed through it and just kept doing what I needed to do. And in doing that, not getting the result that I wanted because of where, the place it was coming from the frustration, from the anger, and then get mad that I didn't get the result. See how this works? It all comes full circle. So if we build a relationship with ourselves where we can give ourselves more compassion, more grace, less judgment of ourselves, right? Um, have that new relationship within ourselves, we're able to change our response to all the things, whether it's internal, whether it's external, and be fluid and flexible when things don't go our way, when things go cray cray, you know, again, life be lifing. We're able to still do things that we want to do. And not to say that we can do it right at that very moment. We may, again, like I mentioned before, have to walk away for a few minutes, for a few hours, a day, whatever that is, but giving ourselves space in order to do that. Because what I used to do is I would say, okay, I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to go rest, but not really rest. I'll be thinking about the business. I'll be thinking about what I need to talk about on the podcast. I need to be thinking about, this task that I wanted to do, whether it was change something on my website or create a post for my social media. Like I've been thinking about it constantly, and not really resting, not really just sitting with myself and just being still with myself. I had to learn and practice that over and over again for me to actually be still and really rest and take a break from whatever I needed to take a break from so that I can get back with a clearer mind and better energy in order to do the things to get the results that I want. So, when we're going through all these fluctuations, we also have to recognize what season are we in our life? What season is this? These are things that, for me, as I was going through my whole post-COVID journey, right? That was a season where there was more growth, right? There was some labor pains, like I mentioned before. So there's recognizing those seasons and figuring out what you need in that particular season is so important so you can continue to be productive and move the needle towards the business that you're trying to build, towards the legacy that you are trying to leave in this world. And again, the different seasons I talked about, the growing season. If you go back to podcast episode 110 and 111, there's two parts, right? But talked about creating the internal environment within yourself that lays out the foundation for you to withstand all the different things that we go through these midlife years, right? The weeds and thorns that come up, whether, for me, the thorn has been long COVID. And it could be other ailments that you have. It can be people, right? Like being able to create an internal environment within yourself that protects your peace and protects your wellness to withstand these things and be able to advocate for yourself to remove those things or decide to change your response to those things, right? And then I talked about in episode 114, the labor pains, the laboring season, when you're going through these transitions where, we have to be open to the process of what we have, of the things we have to do in order to get to the result that we want when we're building our businesses. There's a process that we have to go through, right? And recognizing that there is a process, being patient with the process, being patient with yourself through the process makes a world of a difference, right? And being able to withstand those labor pains, those struggles, those challenges, and knowing that when those things come up, there's lessons in those. Those things are not meant to break us, but to build us up and to grow us. And also being able to believe that the process is working for you as opposed to against you. So being open to that. And then in episode 115, I talked about the pushing season where we have to be able to push through all the different things that come up when we're trying to build a business or we're trying to put something out into the world. Push through that uncomfortability, past that comfort zone, right? Push through the self-doubt, push through the fear, push through that feeling of inadequacy. In order to do all of that, we have to create this internal environment, this healthy environment in order to get the result that we want, right? We have to create an environment that is healthy and well, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. All of that matters as we are trying to do the things that we want to do to build and then launch our businesses, right? And being healthy increases our productivity. It helps us with energy, it helps us to have clarity, it helps us with our confidence. All of that matters. So, with all that, if you feel that your menopausal transition or midlife circumstances are controlling you, running your life, that is not allowing you to do things to build your business, it is not allowing you to push past the doubt, push past the fear. I want to submit to you that it you can change your response and change um, the results, right? When you change your relationship that you have with yourself. And I can help you do that. The Menopause Moguls group coaching program doors are open, y'all. It is a 12-month program. Why is it 12 months? It's so necessary. Building a business, like I mentioned before, there's so many things that can fluctuate when building a business, so many things that can fluctuate within yourself physiologically. There's so many things that fluctuate just with life. And when you're building a business, having the support for that year makes a world of a difference. That accountability, that support as you are building a business, I believe 12 months is necessary. So that's why I made it for 12 months. Um, it is a program that creates the foundation for you to have in order to withstand all the fluctuating, all the ebbs and flows of building a business by you learning how to prioritize you and commit to you and your dreams, commit to you and your business. And that commitment to yourself is rooted in the relationship that you have with yourself, right? So in this program, you learn how to develop that relationship with yourself that allows you to know yourself in this season of your life, know who you are becoming, and let go of the prior version of you so that you can continue to move forward. Because a lot of us can also get stuck to the person that we used to be, to the things that we used to do. And we have to let go of that so we can elevate to the next version of ourselves that accepts where we are. And even there are things that we know we may not like about ourselves, but we still accept where we are and celebrate who we are so we can do the things like build a business, um, moving forward and do the task. Um, and then also learning the program helps you to know yourself, like yourself, and then trust yourself. Trust yourself, create a safe space within yourself that allows you to do the scary things anyway. Because the fear is always going to be there, right? That fear, it doesn't go away completely. It may go a little bit, but it doesn't go away completely usually. So in order for you to push past that, push through that, you have to create a significant amount of self-trust. Trusting that even if you do this thing, even if you do this thing a little messy, it will work out. It will work out for your greater good, right? It and if it doesn't work out the way you expected it to or wanted it to, you still can shift. You still can pivot. You still can adapt and continue to move forward instead of being stuck in, oh my gosh, it didn't work. I'm just not going to do it. It's not meant to be. All the things that we can make our brain likes to take us to, right? So building that amount of trust within yourself and adopt a mindset, a mogul mindset that allows you to take bold steps. Not even, it doesn't have to be huge steps, bold baby steps towards the thing you have to do to build and then launch your business. So you're going to learn how to prioritize you, build a foundation within yourself, an internal environment that can withstand all the ebbs and flows that go along with entrepreneurship. And once you do that, and once you unload what you need to unload, let go of the prior version of you, moving forward, you are able to have more direction, clarity within yourself, and trust in yourself to do the things to now build and then launch your business for 2024. So that's what we're doing in 2024, y'all. We're building more businesses, okay? Black woman-owned businesses, woman of color businesses in 2024. So if you are a Black woman of color, 40 and over, who have a desire, who are being called to build a business, a service-based business, but you feel like things are holding you back, whether it's self-doubt, whether it's lack of confidence, whether it's internal, physical, mental, emotional changes, whether it's midlife, all the things that's happening around us, whether it's children, you feel like you don't have time, taking care of aging parents, whatever that thing is, something is holding you back. Something is making you feel or think that you can't do it because of all the things. Menopause Moguls program is for you. I built this for you, in order for you to actually harness the power of these transitions, harness the power of these circumstances, so that you can gain the energy, the confidence, the focus that you need in order to build your business in 2024. The Menopause Moguls program is open. The doors are open. And they're going to be open until December 30th, 11:59 p.m. So if you are ready, right? And like I said in the last episode, menopause has already made you ready. Midlife-ish has already made you ready. click the link to schedule a strategy call so we can hop on a call, strategize what you need to do in order to get your business out into the world in 2024. Because you've been holding on to it for too long. You've been holding on to it for too long. Okay? So, that's what I have for you today. I want to leave you with, I got a Bible scripture for y'all. Again, we just talked about midlife-ish being seasonal. I want to leave you with Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, which says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." And you can read actually verses 1 through 8. It's just basically, it just says in the Bible, there's a time for everything. There's a time to build, there's a time to grow, there's a time to let go of things. I'm paraphrasing, but there's a time to be still. There's a time for everything. Midlife-ish is seasonal. In order for you to do the amazing things that you were created to do, in order for you to put your light into the world, you have to recognize that there's a time for everything. All of these, the things that you're going through, it's all seasonal, which also means it's the struggles, the challenges, those are also temporary. They don't last forever. They don't last forever. That's why I call my long COVID temporary long COVID, because, even though it's still there, it's temporary. It's temporary. So, all right, y'all, that's what I have for you today. Sending love and light to you. Until next time, take care.